Hi guys, I'm back out in the hills today to get some exercise and to free up my left knee, which gets fluid behind it. So that's why I try to keep moving, and sometimes you're best just to push yourself and keep moving and alleviate the pain with management. Keep pushing, keep using your joint, and I'm finding that exercise helps because the fluid behind the knee somewhat seems to dissipate, and so for me that seems to be the answer, managing your pain as well as best you can. Anyway, that's what today's subject was. It's now done with, I've said it, and we're just going to enjoy being high up on the moors, exercising the dog, and having a spot of cuisine, which I'll share with you later. Why don't you join me? I do like ferns, but they do tend to be rather tick city. So try and avoid going through them. My buddy today is on an extendable. It's a lightweight system which I've had to attach to my belt, and you can tell he's quite happy and quite calm at the moment until something goes wrong. But overall he's turned into a great companion. He's calmed down quite a lot, and he's now 2.5 I think. And a special shout out today to Michael, one of my subscribers. Thank you Michael for keeping in touch, and also to my followers again down the Scottish borders, Linda and Fred. I know Linda and Fred have not been getting outside as much as they would like to lately, so I'm glad you've decided to come along and join me today, at least on film. Wallace, stay, stay, good boy. Right then, here we go, up, up and beyond. Come on then, yep. Of course, another secret for young geriatrics like me is to drink a fair amount of electrolyte an hour or two before the walk and during. Oh, I'm so glad you've joined me today and come along on this bimble. It's so good to share it. And look, even on a remote moorland there's beauty to be found. Look at this. Yep, yep. Don't worry guys, the dog's had a good big drink. No, I'm not going to move on till my buddy here is cool and ready to walk. We're not pushing ourselves, we're just taking our time. And it's really, really nice, I must admit, really pleasant experience. Well, he's gone quiet now, which is good. He's cooled off, and so it's time to give up the 10-minute break and head on. Yep, come on! I think it must be about 900 or 1,000 feet above sea level. What's really interesting about the terrain up here is I've noticed you get to know the creatures that are living here. Just along here there's a weasel. Just on this plain in front of me there's 1 or 2 families of skylarks nesting and feeding in the long grass here. Oh, there's the buzzard again. It must have come over because it was curious. You get to know your new neighbours when you move into a new area. Fairly quickly they recognise you, I suppose. Well, hardly, but you recognise them, that's for sure. There's quite a bit of wildlife and just in this small couple of acres. I've seen evidence of grouse, small finches. I haven't seen any wild hare up here yet, but I'm sure there are. Anyway, I'm going to keep on going, a nice cool breeze. This is where I usually have lunch, along this dike along here. Beautiful piece of dry stained Scottish style dike from old-fashioned basalt. On this side of the dike is the Scottish borders. On this side is Midlothian. So that was the COVID boundary until recently. So now I can cross the boundary and go into another region, no problem. So I'm going to head up now to the summit, which is a rather uninspiring summit, but at least it's a summit. Somewhere about 1,000 feet, I think. A bit of fresh rainwater at this altitude. There's been quite a bit of rain, of course. Normally at this time of year, I think these freshwater puddles would have pretty much dried up. Today they're very convenient. Not for me, obviously. This is hard going. A tough ascent, but it's worth it because it's a personal achievement. And that's, for me, what it's about. Not sitting in my armchair for too long and getting out and pushing the boundaries. I used to do a lot of hill walking and climbing, rock climbing and winter fell walking. It was all good fun. And you have this sort of delusion that you maybe can do it again. And then you realise that maybe it's too late. So you go for a kind of compromise. Compromise is always a good plan. The other thing is that the DEET anti-bug spray that I've used does work. I'm surrounded in flies, but they're not landing on me. It's brilliant. Camera's got them crawling all over it. I guess my sweaty, salty hands. But, you know, they're not landing on me, which is amazing. Right then, go away flies. So there's the summit. We're nearly there. It's quite an impressive height because you really do feel like you're looking down on the country, which is nice. It's certainly the highest one on the south part where I live, which is good to be here at last. Okay, 10-minute break nearly over. Let's make it to the top. After 2.5 or 3 hours, 2.5 hours of graft, he can hardly keep his eyes open. Come on then. Good boy. Get out. Get out.